Hey friends, and welcome to this new video dedicated to Poppy Playtime Chapter 5, the next huge chapter of the series that we're all waiting for. Today we're diving into the brand new teaser trailer that Mob Entertainment released yesterday, and believe me, there are tons of details worth analyzing. In the video I uploaded yesterday, we took a quick look at the teaser just to see the first scenes and get a general idea. But now that I've watched it carefully, frame by frame, a lot of hidden clues, references, and maybe even some story hints have started to appear. In this video, we'll talk first about the mysterious new character called Experiment 1202. I found some really creepy details about its shape, its shadow, and its possible behavior. And I can't wait to show them to you. But that's not all. In the teaser, there's also another secret character, hidden in a dark corner, almost imperceptible. Today we can analyze it much better together. We'll try to understand who it might be. Throughout the video, we'll also try to give a name to these mysterious characters, analyzing their design, movements, their possible role in the story, and all the hidden abilities they might have in Chapter 5's gameplay. In fact, many names of the characters of Chapter 5 were already leaked on Trademark website. And today we will try to find the correct names of these two characters. Some theories are really interesting, and some might completely change the way we see the story of Poppy Playtime. So get ready, because today there's really a lot to uncover, and we're in for a bunch of surprises. And before we begin, as always, remember to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell so you won't miss any of the upcoming analysis on Poppy Playtime Chapter 5. Alright, are you ready? Let's begin. First of all, let's rewatch quickly the new short teaser trailer. Now let's start talking about the two characters that appeared in the teaser trailer. These are definitely the most interesting elements of this new material released by Mob Entertainment. In the teaser, we can clearly notice the presence of two distinct figures, both extremely important and full of mystery. The first one is that ragdoll puppet, which many of you will surely remember. We already saw it in the official Halloween image and also in the special Poppy Playtime Fortnite screen. This is the first time we actually see it in an official video directly connected to Chapter 5. What's interesting is that this ragdoll seems much more detailed compared to its previous appearances. In fact, finally we can see his look in the game. This might mean that this ragdoll will have a more important role than we originally thought. In this moment we can only make theories. The second character, instead, is very important. The new mysterious character, which is most likely Experiment 1202. Unfortunately, the new character is not shown clearly in the teaser. We don't see the face, we don't see the body details, no colors, and no actual animations. What we can observe is only its shadow, projected on the wall in the frames, but even that simple shadow is enough to give us the first clues about its silhouette and its possible physical characteristics. Judging from the shape of the shadow, this new character does not seem very big. Actually, it looks quite small, with proportions similar to the mini smiling critters, both in height and in general body structure. This is an important detail because it might mean that Experiment 1202 is not a huge monster or a towering antagonist like Huggy Wuggy, but rather a small creature, maybe agile, maybe fast, maybe even silent. There's also another interesting theory. This character might be one of the members of the new family that will be introduced in Chapter 5. A sort of new mascot family, just like the smiling critters in Chapter 3. Mob Entertainment loves creating groups of creatures connected to each other, each with its own personality and narrative role. If Experiment 1202 really belongs to a new family, then the teaser might have shown us only the very first clue of an entirely new cast that will meet in the game. And this possibility opens up a whole world of theories and speculations that we're going to explore together in the next minutes. Because what we've seen so far is only the tip of the iceberg. But the truly surprising part comes when we analyze the teaser trailer more carefully, because it reveals a fundamental characteristic of character 1202. In fact, By closely examining a specific frame, we can notice that this new experiment seems to have abilities directly connected to electrical power. It's not just an aesthetic detail or a visual effect added to create atmosphere. In the trailer, we clearly see electrical discharges coming from its silhouette, as if its body were able to store or generate energy. The most unsettling thing is that the shadow doesn't show any external device capable of generating the sparks, which leads us to believe that the electricity comes directly from its body, as if it were naturally charged or engineered to conduct energy. This ability could become a huge problem for the player in Chapter 5. If character 1202 is capable of giving a real electric shock, this could become a much more dangerous obstacle compared to the classic chase sequences we've seen in previous chapters. It could temporarily paralyze the player, damage certain systems, or even disable the grab pack in some situations. Now let's move on to one of the most fun and fascinating parts of this whole analysis. Let's try to give a name to these two mysterious characters. Because yes, even though the teaser doesn't mention them directly, the Trademark website, which often reveals upcoming characters before their official debut, has shown several names recently registered by Mob Entertainment. And almost certainly, two of those names belong to the characters we saw in the trailer. Let's start with the most enigmatic one, the character we currently know only as Experiment 1202. Based on its characteristics, its small size, and especially its electricity-based abilities, one of the registered names that seems to match perfectly is Dizzy Boo Boo. The reason is actually pretty simple. The word dizzy immediately reminds us of something that crackles, buzzes, or emits jittery noises, exactly like the electrical sparks we saw in the teaser. That Z sound we associate with electricity is practically built into the name itself. On top of that, the name has a playful, cute tone that contrasts with its potential danger, which fits perfectly with Poppy Playtime's style, where harmless-looking characters often hide terrifying abilities. Now let's move on to the other character, the Ragdoll, the one we saw in the Halloween image and later in the Poppy Playtime Fortnite screen. For this character too, there seems to be a highly believable name among the registered trademarks, Gutter Plush. This name, aside from being unique, matches the design extremely well. Plush immediately brings to mind a toy or mascot, and that's exactly what this character is. Not an animal, not a wild creature, but a kind of living toy. A floppy-limbed plush doll with a stuffed, animated look. Gutter, on the other hand, might hint at a darker origin or a specific role in the story. Something created in a grimy, abandoned environment, or a character that lurks in hidden spaces, forgotten corners, and neglected areas of the factory. This detail fits perfectly with the eerie tone of the teaser, where the ragdoll appears as if it had been hiding in the shadows the entire time, waiting for the player. Of course, it's important to remember that all of this is still theory. These are logical connections based on the names, the designs, and what we saw in the teaser. Nothing has been confirmed by Mob Entertainment, so we must take everything as plausible speculation. Thank you so much for watching the video until the end. Bye bye.